The Rush is sponsored by State Farm.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Rush. As always, I'm Danny Fry. This episode, we bring you football highlights at Rochester, also a double dose of soccer highlights broken down with assistant coach Johnson. And of course, we always have a whole lot more. But before The Rush takes a week hiatus, let's get started. And also, before the Cardinals beat the Braves, let's get started. Okay, so week 6 was the Titan football team's first real test of the season at Rocket Booster Stadium. The place was packed, barely fitting all the fans into the stadium. And everyone in attendance saw an incredible ball game with a wild, controversial finish. Let's get started on these highlights. Glenwood at Rochester. There are the Glenwood captains. There you see Miles McAdams, Nathan Hack, Matt Meyer. They got off to a little bit of a rough start. Rochester and their captains, Blake Pasley had a huge game, number 2. Titan fans, there's one of the super fans, Sam Butler. He was into it. The Titan fans will be into it. Titans, right off the bat, not really. There's a fumble. Nathan Hack, Rochester says they have it. They do. And then on the other end, it's Austin Green, one of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the evening. And right off the bat, it is 7-0 Rockets over the Titans. And then Titans would have a 3-and-out, and then it would be a pass to CJ Baker, number 3, with the touchdown catch. And Glenn Onken, he had to get his boys into the game, and then with the score 21-7 in favor of Rochester, there it is. Number 12, Matt Meyer with another big interception for the Titans, and that set up this play by Miles McAdams. This is right before the half, about 30 seconds to go. In the second quarter, Miles dives and scores. It's 21-14 at that point. Coach Lanen likes what he sees from Miles, says good job, and then we headed into the second half, and Rochester right back to where they left off. Touchdown run by the future Wisconsin Badger, number 34, Garrett Dooley. But then Glenwood's big running back, 32, Donovan Hammonds, lunges across the line. Touchdown, 28-21 in the third quarter. And here on fourth down, conversion as Miles McAdams breaks a tackle and is able to pick up the first down. Then the Titans, 4th and goal, 4th down again. Miles calls a play from the line of scrimmage, juts to the outside and dives in for another Titan touchdown, his second touchdown run, and that was huge, 28-28, but then Rochester would score, it'd be 35-28 at the 50-yard line. There goes Donovan Hammonds. No one is going to catch him. Big touchdown run at that point. A Volpert extra point would make it 35-35. And the Titan fans believed that they would win at that point. Oh, would it be a crazy finish though. Austin Green, as Rochester quickly drove down with their passing game. And Austin Green leap. And here, this kickoff, they've been pooching it to the side all game to Donovan Hammonds. Number 27, Drake Berberet of Rochester catches it. That would end the game as Rochester would go and take a knee. Look at it again though. Under the rules, the officials should have called what is kick-catch interference and given Glenwood the option of taking the ball at midfield because it was not touched by a Glenwood player or hit the ground. 41-35 Rochester though.
It was, man, if you're a fan, it's an exciting game, and it was so back and forth. The momentum shifts were so, man, it was us, it was them, it was us, it was them, that, it wears you out. And they started wearing us out in the third quarter, but the kids stepped up in the end, and it was just a great game.
He did a great job. Miles is, he's like having an extra coach out there, and the play where he scored, where we needed to score down here, we put him in the formation and said, Miles, call the play from the line of scrimmage, and he did. And made a great call.
I wish I could say I called it. We didn't. That was just luck. It was just one of those lucky plays. I guess God wanted us to win or something. But it was luck. It wasn't a squib. And they turned around quick. It wasn't their fault. And our kid just ran under. It was perfect luck.
And the CS8's Commissioner Rick Carlicker did say that according to the SJR, that the call made by the refs was incorrect. We can only guess what would happen there if Glenwood were able to score down and tie it. And Rochester missed an extra point, so you never know what could have happened there. But after the tough loss, Glenwood has homecoming to look forward to against the 0-6 Lanphier Lions. At home tonight, Friday Night Lights kickoff will be at 7, following all the pregame activities. And we'll stick with football, and the team has one more high-profile game to look forward to. It's Week 8 at Sacred Heart Griffin at their brand new sports complex. The team has a set game plan and are excited to hit the turf.
They have a big offensive line, a big defensive front, and then they have speed. Okay, and a lot of times I think their defensive front and their offensive line is overlooked, but I think that they always are fundamentally very sound and play good solid football.
Glenwood tight end and linebacker Daniel Helm will be ready for a battle against SHG.
Well, it's going to be a battle. Just know that every time we got to bring our best effort because they're going to play hard and they're very good. So.
Glenwood veteran quarterback leader Miles McAdams believes that the team will overcome adversity faced in the Rochester game to be better prepared for the Cyclone.
We've had some close ones. Last week we had a tough one, and now we know how to deal with that adversity. We've learned that we need to clean our game up, and our execution last week was horrible. And so that's our first big game of the year, honestly. So now we know how to handle that.
Coach Rourke believes that the key to defeating SHG will be to build off the offense.
That's what we're gonna try and draw from that, and hope that we come out and can get some things going offensively. I think that's probably the key, is to get some things going offensively and keep their offense off the field. And that's really what our strategy is most of the time. That's what we're going to try and do.
Another key for the Titans will simply be execution.
We can just go into the game knowing that it won't be easy, and no matter how close you get to beating them, they'll always come back better. So we just have to be prepared this year, We got the right tools, we got the right weapons to come and beat them, so if we execute well, we can beat them.
The atmosphere at the game is going to be electric, and the Titans have to be prepared for that.
The atmosphere is going to be crazy, us playing on their new field. Hopefully coming into we'll have the same record, 1 loss on our record, and but the atmosphere is just going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Honestly, it's just going to have to be getting used to the atmosphere, and some of the young guys might be in a little awe, but we got to make sure that they're ready to go, wipe that off their face, and get ready to play some football.
That will take us into commercial break number 1, but stay tuned for back-to-back soccer highlights with Coach Johnson and also results from tennis and cross country. Stay right there.
Kids, the breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
All right, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
What do you think I should pay for my deductible? Do you think like $250, $500? Hi, what do you think? $500, $250? Collision? Comprehensive? I don't even know what it means. Do you even know what that means? Is a $1,000 deductible too high?
Number 40. You know that place where lots of questions means nobody seems to know?
I'm so there.
If you like answers, get advice and savings from a State Farm agent. Call, click, or visit and switch. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
I'm there. When life changes, State Farm is there to help you plan ahead and protect what matters most. Talk to an agent today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
What do you think I should pay for my deductible? Do you think like $250, $500? Hi, what do you think? $500, $250? Collision? Comprehensive? I don't even know what it means. Do you even know what that means? Is $1,000 deductible too high?
Number 40. You know that place where lots of questions meets nobody seems to know?
I'm so there.
If you like answers, get advice and savings from a State Farm agent. Call, click, or visit and switch. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Kids, the breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
Welcome back to The Rush, and I'm back here with Assistant Coach Johnson. You're on here to be a guest anchor. And soccer team, they're really hitting the final stretch here, and they just had a describe senior night and how have the seniors played this year?
Well, first off, thanks for having me, Danny. I appreciate it.
No problem. Appreciate you coming on.
First time on. So, hey, you know, our group, our senior group's been outstanding for 4 years. I get the luxury to coach them at the freshman and sophomore level and help out the juniors and senior level as well. So it's been a neat experience watching these guys grow up. Alex Goose Johnson in the middle and Patrick Flayhive and Joe Graves up top and Will Robertson in the back. They work extremely hard. Sometimes they almost work too hard if there is such a problem. But we've gotten better, I think, as the season has progressed. I think we've got a little bit of work to do, especially in the back. But we're rarely questioning our guys' efforts. It's just been a joy to have them, and we're looking forward to a great postseason here.
Well, let's see the effort in the first highlight here against the Lanphier Lions. And this is sort of a tune-up for the SHG game. We'll see a little later. At home, they'll start out, and this is Luke Rechtemal, a great junior you have, 18. He's going to punch it in right off the bat, 1-0 on Lanphier.
Yeah, Luke's really got a knack for scoring. I mean, he uses the outside of his foot, and he's just really got a knack for scoring. Just a little bit about Lanphier. You know, we're pretty fortunate to have guys that just play all year round, and Lanphier doesn't usually have.
Save right there by the goalkeeper. And he did a decent job, but he had a lot of shots on goal from you guys all game. And here, eventually, it's going to go around, and look at that. Well, Joe Graves running down 11. He's going to find this over, and I mean, he's been all over the place for you guys coming around. And like you said, I mean, he is one of the hardest workers on the team, and he's eventually going to go and he's going to have a shot. And that was a roll, and that was actually Chad McCarty, which I heard that wasn't even a shot. He just kind of crossed that and ended up rolling in past the Lanphier goalkeeper.
And like I said, with Lanphier, you know, we're pretty fortunate to have guys that play all year round, and they're not as fortunate, but they have a good group of working hard kids, and I think they're going to get better here in the future. But our guys will really work this game just playing one touch and moving the ball around and really trying to get better every game.
Here's a senior, Jack Patterson. Got a lot of playing time against Lanphier, and he boots that one right into the corner. We saw a shot earlier from Braden Hack. He's your goalie, but he was a forward there, and he had a goal, and so did your other goalie, Riley Marshak, in this one. And your guys are just with Lanphier. And how many shots on goal did they have? Because the Titans, like you see right here on this play, they were just so aggressive on defense.
Yeah, we had probably more than we can count. We had quite a few, but it was neat to have Brayton with the opportunity, a rare opportunity to play up top and score a goal, and then Riley Marshak the second half got to get in and get him a goal too.
And you guys went on to win, cruised 8-0 over Lanphier, and that really was truly a tune-up game for the SHG Cyclones. And describe the sort of season they were having and how you're preparing for them.
Well, I think SHG they've kind of been up and down. They beat Springfield High in an overtime match, and we knew then and there they're well coached. Peter Christopherlakis, who I got to play with when I was growing up, so they're well coached, and we knew it would be just a battle, and it is every year with them. So we talked going in about just self-control and composure and not letting the crowd dictate.
Especially at that campus, we brought a good crowd, but that's where they actually play at the football field there, at where the football team will play. And describe the atmosphere heading into that and playing on that turf. Was it any different?
Yeah, I call it the $1 million stadium, I guess. But we went in there. I think we had just a tribute to our fans. I think we had more than Griffin had. But right off the bat, I mean the physicalness of the play was just I think more so Griffin than us were playing more emotionally. But we were as well. Just with the atmosphere, the turf itself. It was just a huge field, bigger than any field we've played on this year. And
it's so wide for football.
It's so wide and with the turf and the rubber, it's a faster paced game, especially playing 80 minutes than getting to that overtime. Guys' legs were dead, and Griffin, they were cramping. I think they were cramping a lot more than we were. So just to test our fitness, guys came out and just gritted it out, and I think our fitness was a little bit better than really what got us through.
Well, let's see truly how you guys did handle that pressure and the grit you guys had against the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones, and look at that field. And eventually, you guys are going to get a shot on goal here early, and then I believe that was Flayhive able to pooch it out there for you guys. No good, but you guys got off to a really fast start, Coach.
Yeah, we did. First 5 minutes was a little shaky, but then we kind of held our own. At about the 15th minute mark, I think somebody found, I think it was Mays that found Brocktober. He brought it down.
Right there, past a very talented SHG goalkeeper, Ty Clearwater, and a lot of some guys play from on a Sassa team, and Tober was there, and he's been a goal scorer for you guys all year, and Riley Marshak and Braden Hacker both filling in for you guys at goalie.
They are, yeah, we're playing them each a half. We're rotating each a half.
And they both do a fantastic job, and here again, Cody Coleman talked to him earlier. He said he was open right there, and Patches didn't quite find him. Bounces off an SHG player where Clearwater's able to take it.
Yeah, but like I said, with Brock on that goal, boy, he brought it down real nice and was real poised and found the back of the net. So in that 15th minute really gave us a charge.
And there's a free kick, and this will take us into the second half. And running along, SHG's going to get one past Braden Hack, and describe how they were attacking you guys.
And going into the second half up 2-0, that's kind of just a dangerous lead to have because we want to let our guard down. But we just kind of came out a little flat, and boy, they were attacking, they were pressing, and they scored right about the 20-minute mark, I believe.
And here in overtime, winning overtime 2-2, Luke Rechtenwall with the header, and describe how difficult of a shot that was. That was from way out.
It's rare you see a header like that. I mean, he was probably 12 yards out, and the goalie was off his line. He headed to the far post and found an error, and he ended up capitalizing on it.
Yeah, Rechtenwall for the GWO game-winning goal, 3-2. And what were you and Coach Leip, what were you preaching to your guys heading into that overtime? It was such a fast-paced game, and you guys are really being worn out. And what were you preaching them to keep pushing in the overtime?
Really letting the ball do the work and keeping poise and self-control, and that was huge. It'll happen. It was a golden goal, first goal. The score wins, but we could have played up to 20 minutes in that overtime. And guys, 2.5 minutes in, scored, and they kept their heads and did extremely well. So really proud of them.
Well, thanks, Coach, and good luck for the rest of the season as you guys play. Well, you'll play Plains and then also get ready for Springfield. And the boys' next game is Tuesday the 9th at Springfield as they prepare for the postseason. Now, the Glenwood girls tennis team had a rainout against Springfield on Tuesday, but Monday the Lady Titans were able to battle the SHG Cyclones. Let's take a look at how they did. And they were able to top them by 7-2 and able to roll right along in the 9 matches and able to win 7-2. So right off the bat, a tough test in SHG tennis, and Glen was able to roll along. The CSA tournament starts tonight at 4 going into tomorrow and is hosted by Lanphier High School. Moving on to cross country. Both teams are rolling along, and last weekend Both the boys and girls teams made the annual trip to Loyola Lakefront near Chicago. Let's take a look at how first the boys did. Mark Maton, he was feeling a little under the weather, not 100%. Therefore, Grant Kaiser is able to lead the Titans 48th overall with a time of 17:03. Tyler Jones in there as well. And now let's see how the girls did. And Lindsey Rogers, she's been the team's leader, finishing 11th, 1929. I believe just a freshman, Cassidy Garner, finishing 29th overall with a time of 2012. So both XC teams are on a bye this weekend, but are still preparing for the CS8 meet at Lincoln Park on Saturday the 13th. Last week in the NFL, some results were surprising, especially to our pick'em specialist Eric Burklow. He's now 500 overall for predicting games on the season, and this week, Eric looks to rebound.
The Bears will win because they have more offensive firepower and they have a better passing game. Patriots are going to dominate. The Patriots are coming off a huge win in Buffalo. Also, the Broncos offense. The Washington Redskins will have a home team advantage, and they will win the game. The Vikings will win because they will put a lot of pressure on Titans quarterback Jake Locker.
Final commercial break of the day. But don't move, we'll be right back with the top three and weekly debate with Dane Blakeman, and Coach Johnson's also back for the debate.
Kids, the breakfast is ready. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dad's really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
What do you think I should pay for my deductible? Do you think like $250, $500? Hi, what do you think? $500, $250? Collision? Comprehensive? I don't even know what it means. Do you even know what that means? Is $1,000 deductible too high?
Number 40. You know that place where lots of questions meets nobody seems to know?
I'm so there.
If you like answers, get advice and savings from a State Farm agent. Call, click, or visit and switch. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
I'm there. When life changes, State Farm is there to help you plan ahead and protect what matters most. Talk to an agent today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Welcome to the top three. My name is Gavin Crusoe, and we are going to show you the best three plays in Glenwood sports this week. And at number 3, we have the first goal of the game versus SHG, with Brocktober hitting it in there and gets the first points. And at number 2, we have Miles McAdams breaking out, and he runs over and he does a nice dive to get the second touchdown to score Glenwood the 13 points. And at number 1, we have the best soccer goal I've ever seen, hitting over to Luke Reckenball, and and into the goal it goes. For the fans went crazy on this one. All right, we're going to head it over to the debate with Danny.
We have a new nickname for Luke Reckenball, the Wrecking Ball, right there, courtesy of Gavin Caruso. Luke Reckenball there. Yeah, I'm going to have to tell him we got a new nickname for him, the Wrecking Ball, but that's all right. Dane Blakeman here, freshman over at Lincoln, back again for the debate, and Coach Johnson is also back. Guys, thanks for coming on for the debate.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll start on, our first question is sort of a general sports question that can a single player's attitude sort of throw off the rest of the team. I'm kind of spinning it. Dane and I were both, diehard Bears fans, and Jay Cutler right now with all the tantrums he's throwing on the sideline, hitting his offensive lineman Jamarcus Webb, and there are cameras there, but really, Coach Johnson, we'll start with you, then go down to Dane. Well, can a single player's attitude sort of throw off, the rest of the team, and how can you fix that?
Absolutely. I mean, whether it be the pros or high school, I think one person can be a cancer. People can see that, and the morale can go down from there. Even before, Cutler obviously walking away from his coach on the sideline, him trying to talk him up is just, on Monday Night Football in front of millions is just a horrible example. But even more, as fresh in my mind, is for Josh Hamilton, yesterday's game against the Oakland Athletics. It was a routine, just a routine fly ball and nonchalantly running in, and I think there's a lot of stuff off the field in terms of with his contract and not getting a contract. It almost seemed like he was kind of being extremely selfish out there and feeling sorry for himself and just kind of pouting. And him not catching that ball, I think
that may come back to why they end up losing the AL West.
Oakland end up winning the division. Rangers are going to have to play down in the wild card. And I don't think they'll win that game. I just think the morale is from that particular play, and I just think he could have sprinted that ball and as routine as it gets, and he didn't do that.
Yeah, so. Dane, we'll turn it over to you and especially, with Cutler, we got to watch him week in, week out.
Well, obviously, Jay Cutler is probably the most recent example of this. And on a personal level, I would probably never defend Jay Cutler. Because at no point should you ever hit a teammate or lay hands on a teammate or walk away from a coach. Even if you're a professional making all this money, your job is to do what the coach tells you, and it's as simple as that.
And the point that Coach Johnson brought up with Josh Hamilton win, and he was trying to tell Ron Washington, what happened. He's just like, I just missed it, and that's just because got a little I think I've made this play, a million times before. I should be able to handle it. Didn't there.
It didn't help that he was walking after the ball.
Pretty much.
Danny, I love Josh Hamilton and his story coming back from that substance abuse, but man, his body language out there just said it all. It really did, and it was unfortunate. He's not embarrassed. I think a lot of us are embarrassed for him, but hopefully he learned his lesson and go from there.
Well, Friday night, Cardinals they'll take on the Braves in a one-game wild card. We have Eric Burklow, who's a huge Braves fan, and we've had that feud going on for a while. And the Cardinals, they barely squeaked into the postseason. I still can't believe the Dodgers, of all the moves they made, getting pretty much everybody from the Red Sox and all these moves, that they didn't make it, but they couldn't finish out against the Giants. Cardinals make the playoffs, and they made a magical run last season squeaking into the playoffs. Different now because they have a one-game playoff. What do the Cardinals have to do to start that magical run over again?
Dane and I are going to agree with this one. We've talked Cardinals a lot. I'll start out here. The Cardinals, just making it, we were talking, I think they won 12 out of the last 16 games, and they're going to have to continue that. They're going to have to, offensively, you've got to Freeze, Beltran, Berkman, they've got to produce. They have to be consistent. Offensively, we've been 0 runs or 10 runs. We've got to produce. We've got to, in between, we've got to be there. We've got to have some offensive support, and our bullpen's got to be consistent as well to get there.
I'll go with Dane.
I think the main thing is consistency. At points you've seen the Cardinals go out and score 10 runs, and the next night score 1 run. So, if the offense can show up against Chris Medlin, they've won 23 straight starts that he started.
My thing is, and Kurt Schilling brought this up yesterday, he has not pitched in a postseason game in that atmosphere.
Yeah, he's a young kid too, so hopefully the Cardinals experience can get to him.
Yeah, and okay, very last question. We'll go through this very quickly, and we'll have, so who will be the dark horse in this year's MLB postseason? Cardinals obviously were last year. Quickly, a rundown of who do you think will squeak in here and go under the radar?
Well, obviously I'm a huge Cardinal fan. I want them to get there, but I would say Oakland A's. They've won. At one point they were 13 games back. They were 5 games back in the last 9 days. So I just think with them beating Rangers, they've got a momentum going. I think they can do well if they get past that tough Detroit.
Yeah, all that momentum there. Dane, very quickly, who do you think you got there?
Cardinals.
All right there. Stay on for just a little bit though, and that's all we have for this episode. Do the shortened week next week. There will be no rush, but then we'll be back a week after that, and Everybody have a fun and safe homecoming and head out to all the sporting events this week, including the football game tonight at 7 against the Lanphier Lions. That's it. We gone.